Not so long ago, and perhaps still in some parts of the world, religious, political, and scientific power was held by the same people, and their goal was simple: to obscure, to occult, to hide the truth. And the spiritual leaders have been the deciders regarding just about everything. There was a time when new ideas coming out of new genius minds were set aflame, literally at the stake, burned at the stake. Fear from losing control was the overriding mindset in those leaders, in those people's minds, as they used every possible means to keep the population away from thinking on their own, from empowering themselves. Their goal was to propagate a set of beliefs that encouraged us to behave along with the group, employing a persuasive armed marketing, if you will. The fundamental goal seemed to be good at the time, since it is important to maintain a good social structure. The difficulty arose when the individual feeling of freedom was hindered for the greater good of a few leaders instead of the greater good of the entire group. I promise you that in the very near days, the days ahead, you're going to see many of these leaders exposed. All of them. All of them that have been in this drama, that have been responsible for the enslavement of mankind, will be revealed in the days ahead. Science and religion have been opposed regarding consciousness since Descartes separated matter and mind. This separated view was named Cartesian dualism. Since then, two non-dualist approaches to the world have been developed. The first non-dualist view includes scientific materialism, in which matter produces mind from a series of mechanical reactions in the hormonal and nervous system, such as the brain. The second non-dualist view includes idealism, in which mind produces matter. Now, Buddhism believes that mind and matter both derive from a deeper lying common entity, from a grand unified field of consciousness, the morphogenetic field of source. And in recent decades, it has become evident that quantum physics and quantum gravity can provide a scientifically plausible accommodation of the Buddhist approach. In Buddhism, the deeper lying monistic entity is the pure wisdom of the supreme unified consciousness. Namaste, namaskaram. Which can give rise to matter and or mind. It's all source. It's all from within the morphogenetic field, divine grid programmer's mind, the mind of God. In scientific terms, it is the quantum geometry, sacred geometry at the tiniest level, the Planck scale of the universe, which is called the unified quantum field. The cosmic wisdom of the supreme unified consciousness pervades the universe, involving, informing, and interconnecting everything, including living and non-living beings. It is everything. It is everywhere. And yet this is only the perception we have from our human point of view. From the point of view of supreme consciousness, the divine grid programmer, the all that is, the prime creator, intelligent infinity, everything at the same place is at the same time. It is all in the perfect moment of the here and now. And universal wisdom could be seen as very small quantum information pervading the universe in a non-local and holographic way, hence repeating everywhere and at various scales, at various times, a temporality, everywhere and every when. We will see how we can practice ourselves to detach from the limited human perception of time and space, how we can shift our perspective from the 3D physical to the higher dimensions, and practice at perceiving the higher wisdom, which is more refined than standard intellectual information. The mind above the brain, the strata of intelligence, the data, the facts of the brain. The mind is the standard, is the higher wisdom that is more refined than standard intellectual information, your day-to-day shopping list, variety, garden variety data. Now, in Buddhism and in the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram for Compassion and Strength, conscious awareness in an individual, self-consciousness, is a series of ripples on the universal pond of the supreme unified consciousness, interacting with the biological body, the nervous system, and thus the five senses. In science, self-consciousness is a series of quantum wave function reductions, ripples in quantum geometry on the edge between the quantum world of multiple coexisting possibilities, the omniverse, the multiverse, and the classical world of definite states, all occurring in the brain. It is nonetheless possible to become aware of this interaction between the pool of possibilities, the flux of the unified field, and the world we believe to be definite and fixed. Now, samadhi is a Sanskrit word describing awareness in which sensory inputs, memory, and self dissolve. A person's consciousness becoming totally one with supreme unified consciousness. And samadhi occurs during deep meditation. Scientifically, in altered states of consciousness, quantum brain activities may become more directly connected with universal quantum geometry and its collective information. Some of you may have experienced this state, supreme unified consciousness, through other means, through synthetic means. Perhaps you've gotten glimpses of the reality, the grand reality, the supreme unified consciousness behind this circus clown show of 3D fallen earth. But these synthetic paths, these vectors of knowledge, of the synthetic nature of something outside of yourself that you're taking to help you achieve these states of consciousness, are a trap in and of themselves, and a trap just as strong and as definite as the metaverse. You don't need that. You need conscious breathing, disciplined breathing, and you need quantum Aumbondanism, or Buddhism, if you will. Quantum Buddhism, quantum consciousness aims at providing a set of tools to develop a scientific spiritual approach to the world, unburdened by traditional, cultural, ritualistic, and dogmatic weight, where development of the self prevails to become a conscious scientific instrument. Please hit the subscribe button, leave this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for further information dissemination broadcasts from the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram for Compassion, Strength, and Quantum Consciousness. Namaste. Namaskara.